The studio lights were blinding, casting a harsh glow on the pristine set of Watch What Happens Live. The audience buzzed with excitement, murmuring about the evening's guest, the legendary country singer Reba McEntire. Her presence alone was enough to make the room tingle with anticipation. Cameras shifted nervously as Andy Cohen, the ever-charismatic host, welcomed the audience with his trademark grin, unaware that tonight's episode would spiral into chaos. Reba walked onto the stage, her heels clicking against the polished floor. She was calm, composed, yet her eyes held a storm that few could read. Andy, sensing the energy shift, opened with light chatter about Reba's career and recent projects. The conversation started cordially, peppered with laughter and applause. But the mood changed subtly when Andy veered into a topic Reba had made it clear she avoided: her recent personal life. "So Reba," he said, leaning forward, "your past relationships, they've made headlines. Any regrets?" The words were soft, but they carried a sharp edge. The audience tensed, sensing a crack in the calm surface. Reba's smile stiffened. She inhaled slowly, weighing her response. "Andy, I usually don't discuss my personal life on air," she said evenly, but there was a hint of steel in her voice. Andy, ignoring the caution, pressed further. "Come on. The audience loves it. They want the inside story." That was the moment the atmosphere shifted. Reba's eyes flashed with intensity. "The inside story?" she repeated, her voice rising slightly. "Let me tell you something. Sometimes the media or hosts think they have the right to dig into people's lives for entertainment. But tonight, I'm in control of my story," the audience murmured, the energy electric. Andy's confident grin wavered just slightly. He had interviewed countless celebrities, but there was a firmness in Reba's tone that hinted she wasn't here to play along. The cameras captured every micro-expression, the tightening jaw, the sharp blink, the subtle sway of Reba's hand. Suspense filled the air, and everyone knew a confrontation was about to unfold. Andy leaned back, chuckling nervously. All right. Let's talk about your music then." But Reba was already on a different path. "No, Andy, I'll decide what we talk about. And if you keep pushing, I'll make sure this conversation goes the way I want." A collective gasp swept through the audience. They had come for entertainment, but this was raw, unpredictable drama. As the segment ended, the tension hung thickly in the air. The stage crew exchanged worried glances, and even the cameras seemed hesitant, unsure if they were capturing a performance or a moment of real-life confrontation. Reba sat poised, a calm storm waiting to strike, while Andy tried to regain composure. Little did anyone know, Scene 2 would push both of them to the edge. The next segment began with Andy, attempting to steer the conversation back to lighthearted territory. "So, Reba, your latest album?" he started, but Reba interrupted mid-sentence, her voice sharp. "Andy, stop pretending you're here just to discuss music. You've got an agenda, and I see it." The audience held its collective breath. Live television rarely felt this tense. Andy, usually the master of banter, was momentarily thrown off balance. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the new tracks," he stammered. Reba leaned forward, her eyes locking onto his. "No, you wanted a reaction, a headline. You want to humiliate me for clicks and ratings. But I'm not playing that game." She paused, letting her words hang. The silence was deafening. Camera operators adjusted, unsure whether to cut or let it play out. Andy tried to regain control. "Reba, come on, it's just a show." "Everyone does it." Her laugh was low, almost chilling. "Just a show?" she repeated. "Do you know how many women in this industry have been belittled on your platform? How many times have you pushed for personal drama over real substance?" The audience reacted audibly. Some murmured in agreement, others gasped in surprise. Reba's words were precise, cutting through the glitz of the set. Her authority was undeniable, and the usual dynamic of host and celebrity reversed in an instant. Andy's attempts to interrupt were subtle but futile. Reba had captured the narrative. "Tonight," she continued, her voice commanding, "I'm not your punchline. I'm not here to feed your questions. I'm here to remind everyone watching that respect is non-negotiable." She leaned back, the storm finally settling into a poised calm. Andy swallowed, his usual charm replaced by a rare vulnerability. The segment ended with applause, not the scripted kind, but genuine appreciation for her courage. Reba had humiliated the host in a way that was graceful yet devastating, leaving the audience and Andy himself speechless. Backstage, Reba removed her microphone with the same composure she had maintained on stage. Crew members whispered among themselves, amazed by how she had turned the tables. Andy, meanwhile, retreated to his office, replaying the confrontation in his head. Social media had already exploded. Clips of Reba's assertive statements were trending worldwide. Producers debated how to handle the footage. Some feared backlash, others recognized the historic nature of what had occurred. Reba, however, remained unfazed. She had said what needed to be said on her own terms, and no amount of public reaction could shake that. Fans took to social media, celebrating her unapologetic stance. Reba rules and live TV shock became trending topics, as people praised her for reclaiming control in an industry that often strips celebrities of their agency. Meanwhile, Andy Cohen faced an unexpected learning curve. Charisma and confidence could only take you so far when confronted with unapologetic truth. By the next morning, articles, podcasts, and talk shows dissected every moment of the encounter. Some criticized Andy for his probing questions. Others lauded Reba for her courage. But everyone agreed on one thing. No one could have predicted the suspense, the drama, and the raw power of Reba McEntire on that live stage. The story became more than just a heated argument. It was a moment that reminded the world of the delicate balance between entertainment and respect, between performance and reality. And for Reba, it was a reaffirmation that on her terms, she was untouchable.